Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still here after all these years, after all these tears I shed. I'm still here and I'm walking this earth like I should be. There was days that I didn't know if I would be. Yeah, yeah. Now I stand tall with my feet in the ground and my head in the clouds. 'Cause I'm still here like I should be. Yeah, yeah, like I knew that I could be. Here we go, here we go. I'm still here. I'm here.
Welcome back. How's your week going? Hopefully good. I want to talk a little bit about I am statements today. And I think we've touched on this in the past, but I let's do 10 I am statements that can help you live with cancer. And remember, in talking about an I am statement, I think about them in a way that helps me. Well, they help me in a lot of ways. One is I find them a little bit motivating, right? So because if I think about what I'm doing throughout my day and I put that into an I am statement, I want to be proud of that most of the time, right? There's always things that I go, yeah, I am sitting in my recliner doing nothing, which I guess is called rest, so that's okay as long as there's a balance to that. But also, I am a person who eats well, or I am a person who works out. I am a person who, when I describe myself, those I am statements are important to me. And I find them to be motivating. And just as a very basic statement, I have maybe talked about this a little bit in the past, but like, I am living with cancer versus I am sick. I don't feel like I'm sick. I get sick, but I'm not sick overall, right? I have challenges for sure. I am living with challenges, but I don't want the overarching statements of my life to be negative or victim or make myself feel worse about myself, if that makes sense. So let's talk about 10 I am statements for people living with cancer. I am a person who lives fully even while managing cancer. That's a big statement. And what does that look like to you? I think living fully, at least when I consider it, it changes. There's times when I living fully means vacation and time with family and friends and big experiences. But there's also living fully in the everyday. And that means kind of checking off the boxes and being intentional about, you know, my attitude and the things that I'm doing and all of those things. You are not your diagnosis. I am not cancer, right? I am a person who lives with cancer. So you still get to think about what kind of life you want and how you can work towards that, even with cancer. What are your dreams? What do you want to live and do and create and make an impact with? And how maybe you can't do it all right now, but how can you continue to put that dream forward for yourself? Number two, I'm a person who listens to my body with kindness. I think we are by far our toughest critics, right? I have so much less compassion for myself than I do for other people. And I've learned that it doesn't serve me. I need to hold myself accountable. I am a person who is accountable, but I also need to listen to my body. I last week I had 3 days off, which I haven't had 3 days off in a long time. And that's my own choice also. I do want to say that. I am making those choices. But I was sick the entire time. And I was like I was bummed about that. But I also recognize that sometimes my body like sees that and is like, "No, we're going to take this opportunity to rest." And while it was a bummer, I just had to not really judge myself about that and um, work on getting, it what it needed, and moving forward, right? So I am a person who listens to my body with kindness. All right, number 3, I am a person who chooses peace over panic. Woo, that's a good one. I we live in a world that is very alarmist, right? Like, um, the news is always breaking news, something, major is going on, and I get it. It does feel like something major is always going on, but our capacity to handle um, the panic is very limited. And it puts our body in a state of stress on when we allow that. So when fear is trying to take over, you need to be able to have some tools to stop that. And it might be pausing and breathing. It might be journaling. It might be, for me, especially when it was fear over something related to cancer, it was diving back into my journal and all of the things I had written down, all of my I am statements, the things I believed. Um, it's how do we bring this temperature down? And also, I feel like it's do I need to be a part of this? Now, sometimes fear is internal, right? Sometimes the fear is us reacting to our own thoughts. But when it's external, it's also we have a choice to make. Are we going to be a part of that? Or are we going to kind of be in a bubble, tuck it away, take in only what we can take in? You'll always have to, protect your peace. And I really love that statement. I'm a person who chooses peace over panic. All right. Number 4 is I am a person who moves my body in ways that feel good. Okay. So, what does that look like for you? For me, I have been moving my body and I've been doing okay at it. I haven't been working super hard at it. And so, movement, um, my challenge right now is to kind of increase the intensity of that, which we talked about a little bit ago. I did just join a gym, and I literally left the gym the first time going, I am a person who goes to the gym. And that feels good to me. I like to be able to say, this is something that I am um, valuing, making the time for, committing to. Of course, day one, is an easy. It's kind of like, ooh, good for me. But it felt good to be a person who was intentionally moving my body towards a goal. But movement can look like a million things, right? It's a walk with your friends. It's an opportunity. There's nothing like, a few days when you're not feeling well to remind you that feeling good enough to move is really a gift and you should be grateful for it. And so I do kind of try to look at it as opportunities, and just really um, being appreciative of what my body can do for me, and being able to move it. So, number 5 is I am a person who nourishes myself with care and intention. Hmm. So nourishment can mean a lot of things, right? I think we think of it mostly like with food. eating, drinking, those kind of things that are good for us. But care and intention in that respect to me says I'm going to do my best to give my body what it needs, but also to give my soul what it needs as well. I mean, and sometimes that's, a donut on a Friday, or whatever that looks like, enjoying a drink with friends, those kind of things. I'm not an all or nothing person. But just again, thinking about the that we have an opportunity to really do something for our bodies, um, especially when we're asking our bodies to do as much as they can to kill cancer and to really fight through some really tough things, right, at times. So, um, when you think about eating, drinking, nourishing yourself, I think it's also about rest and just kind of like what are the things that are good for your body. And you know what? We are all different. Like some people need more sleep than others. Some people, you know, there's just, we all have differences. So I think it's healthy and good for people to think about what is it for me that I really would like to do maybe a little bit more of to really nourish myself, my body. What am I not giving, myself on a regular basis? Number 6 is I am a person who allows help and connection. Whoa. Um, I don't know about, I'm assuming most of you I know are women who listen to this, and um, asking for help is not always our strong suit. I think we're used to caregiving and not being cared um, for the majority of things. I live with an amazing caregiver. Like Larry is so good about that. And the longer we've been together, the more he has started to help do everything. I mean, household tasks, all of that. And that's amazing. Um, but when you're talking about allowing help, let's talk about help first, and then we'll talk about connection. Um, Allowing help is not only great for you, it is good for the person who's doing it. It feels so good to be able to help people, right? So I always look at that. I had actually somebody today was saying that they got something, they didn't need it. And I was like, well, pass it on. Like they didn't want to accept it. And it's like, well, you know what? If you're going to accept it, I mean, that's fine. People, because somebody really wanted to give it to them, whatever it was. And it was like, okay, but it, great to recognize you don't need this, but you can pass it on. That's how we help each other, right? There's no there's no need for it to be so um I don't know, either shameful or to be so prideful about I don't need help. We all need help, and helping each other feels good. I think that's one thing that our communities have really um I mean, we just don't have as much of that within our communities as we used to, right? We used to all People used to help their neighbors in a way that it just doesn't happen in the same way anymore. But allowing people to help you is really, really important. And the second part of that is connection. I feel like allowing help brings connection, right? So I still, I saw somebody last week that I hadn't seen in a long, long time, and they were there for the early days of like my, cancer. Um, and I am still just so much more connected to people who just really stepped up for me and really were intentional and cared. I We haven't kept in touch, but it just I know how much seeing them, like, it just means a lot, and connecting is so important. it's really easy to let some of that slide. But for the people who want to help you, for when for the help that you do get, build the connection as well. It's just so important. Number 7, I am a person who sets boundaries to protect my energy. Wow. Um, you get to choose, like, who gets access to your time, space, emotions, all of that. Now, I will say, if you have young children, they're going to get more of it. Like, they don't, you don't get to choose as much because you're taking care of kids. I mean, um, as parents, we have that obligation, and of course, we want to do that and do that to the best of our ability. But setting boundaries to protect your energy is so such a gift to yourself. Um, and it allows you, I feel like, to truly free up the energy to heal. And I don't know how to emphasize this like more in terms of you have obligations and obligations have to be met, but sometimes it's the bare minimum. Just meet the obligation. And beyond that, don't do more. And especially while you're really in it or while you're adjusting to living with cancer, all of those times, I don't I don't think it's our responsibility to take on the world in this time. I don't think it's your responsibility to take on somebody else's emotions when you're dealing with uh, cancer. Not it's just not. I know that feels sometimes kind of cold and heartless, but I feel so strongly about protecting yourself first so that you can allow the time and energy and space and all of everything that you need that you can give to yourself. That whole analogy of you can't pour from an empty cup and everything else, there's just truth to that. And unfortunately, sometimes it's the people who's closest to us who kind of drain us the most. So, having frank discussions about, I just can't do this right now, or I need this to look different, or can we go to therapy, or can you go to therapy because I can't be your therapist, or whatever that looks like. I would encourage you to really think about what is it that I need? What is it that I can do to be able to, protect myself, to have boundaries, um, so that I can continue to focus on what I need, to be somebody who lives well with cancer. Whew. Sorry, that's a soapbox one for me. And if you've been here any amount of time, you know that. And I hope you're having those discussions with your loved ones. I hope that they are on board in the same way and willing and able to protect you also from the outside forces, the people that, you come in contact with who say all the wrong things or who want to tell you all about their issues. You can support people later down the road, but when you're early diagnosed, you can't do it. You need to support yourself. All right. Number 8. I am a person who focuses on what I can do today. Whew. Okay. Um, you let go of perfection and focus on presence and possibility. I have been thinking a lot more about this lately. And in a way that's kind of just like, rather than making things a big deal, just get them done. Just do them. Give them the energy they need, but again, not extraordinary energy. um, and then, you know, get the rest as well. What else can I do with my day? How can I make it useful, productive, happy, healthy? Where can I look for opportunities to be grateful? What can I, how can I stay present, in my life? So rather than just feeling like I'm on this hamster wheel and I can't get off, how do I find kind of the moments throughout my day to go, yeah, I'm here and I'm living, and it's good to be here, right? Um, you get to design it. And I know there's like, again, I've had a million appointments lately and I still have more coming. And so for part of that is a challenge for me to kind of figure out, how do I balance all of this? What needs to give, or can I fit it all in? Maybe I can fit it all in. But can I do that without feeling stressed? And so I think it's always just like kind of gauging how you're feeling about everything that's happening in your lives, and then what can, come and go, or what can you maybe put on pause for a while, um, and what can you do today? So number 9 is, I am a person who looks for beauty and gratitude each day. I just talked about this a minute ago a little bit. You train your mind to notice what's still good, even in the hard moments. In fact, I feel like sometimes in the hardest moments, that's when you see the beauty of life the most, right? Like, you notice how just crazy awesome a flower looks, or you you're just so aware of how the crisp air feels, or all of those things. I just think it heightens our senses almost, to be living and dealing with something that feels so big sometimes. Focusing on the little things just kind of just makes it so much better. um Gratitude can look a million different ways. I've done gratitude journals in the past. I keep an app, or a note in my app that says one good thing, and I'll put one good thing that happened for the day. I don't do it all the time. But even just, when I'm driving, or when I'm home, or whatever, I will think about what is something that I'm just really grateful for. We're in the midst of the color change and it's beautiful. Again, I'm just trying to stay really present with that. I know what's coming next and I don't love it. But for right now, it's beautiful. It is. The color and the beauty outside is what you see in pictures. And I'm just glad to be able to be a part of it. So, looking for beauty and gratitude and training your mind, your mind goes where you lead it. And that's just a much better place to be than to be always in a place of, you know, things you don't have, so, or loss. Number 10 is, I am a person who believes in hope and purpose beyond survival. So, um, sometimes when I am looking around in October, especially because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and there's, just a ton of focus on breast cancer awareness. Um, and they talk about things like survivors, and I just, for me, a lot of that is not something that really hits with me. I feel like I don't know, I just don't feel like it's something that really applies to me a whole lot. But I do believe in hope and purpose, beyond this, right? Beyond just getting through each day, right? There are times in our lives when we have to just kind of sometimes string a few days together and get through them. But I think more often than not, we can be, or I can be a person who believes in hope and purpose. And it is beyond being diagnosed with cancer. It is beyond it's beyond all of those things. It's beyond like the pink that comes in October. It's not the pretty gift or the whatever. That doesn't do anything for me. But I just like the thought of being able to be present minded, but also future focused. And the I am statements kind of help me with that because they remind me to build this life for the future, but also to stay present in my days. So, all right. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I hope you enjoyed the I am statements. If you have some that you want to add yourself, that would be great. I'd love to hear them. I'd be happy to put together like a PDF or something that I could put out. You could print it off, do whatever, put it up. If any of those resonated with you, especially, I'd love to hear from you. Also, just wanted to let you know we are we are going to start the There's No Cancer in This Book Club, which I kind of like the name. I just think it's funny. But it will be a virtual club. There will be some different tiers where you can get the book any way you want to get the book. If it's available in the library, great, whatever. Or you can purchase it. I don't care how you do that. There'll be opportunities to, and some different ways to interact, different levels for that. So I think Melissa will be on here with me soon for that, and then we'll probably be taking that over to a different platform. We'll talk more about that. Other than that, you guys, reviews means so much. Likes, follows, share this episode, share other episodes. The more that we get noticed, the bigger this can be, and the more people we can help. So, thank you all for listening. I appreciate it so much, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of our community. It means the world to us. Our goal is always to help as many people as possible live well with cancer. You can help us by subscribing and sharing episodes when you hear of others that could benefit from it. We really appreciate your time spent with us and your commitment to offering hope and inspiration to others.